Hey you guys, I'm Christy from Blingee Thingee on Etsy, and today I'm going to do a tutorial just showing you how to bling out the toe of a Converse shoe. And this is just a taller size shoe, and what I used on this shoe was the resin rhinestone. So that's what I'm going to be working with on the other shoe. And I sell these resin rhinestones in my Etsy store. I'm going to be working with a size 4mm. And this is a pack of 1,000, and in my store these are only $2.99. So this is a pretty nice size pack, and we're definitely not going to use all of these on just a taller shoe. So these are $2.99 in my store, and the color is clear, size 4mm. And then also I'm going to be working with a size 3mm to fill in the smaller gaps, so you can't see through the actual toe of the shoe where the places get smaller. So we'll fill it in with a 3mm. This pack is $2.50 in my shop. So I mean, under $6 you get 2,000 rhinestones. So I'll leave the links for all of that information. Then we're also going to use the E6000 glue. This dries clear. It adheres really well. For all my craft projects, this is the only glue that I ever use, and it always works great. Have this in my shop. And then the last thing that we're going to use is a wax pencil, and this is going to actually pick up the rhinestones so I can place them on the shoe. And this is $1.99 in my shop. So everything's very inexpensive. You can do this whole project super cheap. So let's get started. And as you can see, I blinged out this shoe already. So I'm just going to show you on the other shoe how I did that. So some of the little things that I use toothpicks, and I'll show you what I use those for. I'm going to pour out my rhinestones here and you'll be able to see those. And I like to use a paper plate. A lot of people like to use those little triangular sorting trays. I prefer a paper plate because I can spread my stones out a little bit more, which helps me to be able to pick them up a lot quicker instead of having to pick through them and flip them over and all of that. So I just kind of spread them out. And then I'm also going to pour out these 3mm also, so I can get to those. So there's a lot of different ways to do this, and there's not really a right way or a wrong way. Everybody just has a different way that they do it. I like to put my glue on a toothpick and then spread it out. I feel like it gives me a little bit more control over where the glue's going. So that's why I personally prefer to do it that way. Now I want to show you something about the glue. I don't know if you can see this or not. My camera's going to go in focus, but when you're working with the E6000 glue, it's really stringy. So what I do is when I'm squeezing it out, I twist this because there's like this little glue string. And if you don't twist and break that string, you'll just have this string of glue that gets all over everything. And you don't want that. So you want to make sure. And then I'm twisting my toothpick. That way, none of that glue is just stringing all over the place. So you want to use enough glue that your rhinestones are going to adhere to your shoe, but you don't want to use too much because you don't want your glue coming up around your stone, because that's not going to be good either, because that can kind of cloud or fog up your resin rhinestone, which is something that happens with a lot of people, and you don't want that. And you also want to make sure that you're not putting too much glue, so when you're putting your stones, if you're new to this and you don't move as fast, you don't want your glue to be drying, because that's not going to be good. So just only glue the area that you feel you have enough time to get your stones on. So now I'm just going to use my tool and touch the top part of the rhinestone, and I'm just going to start placing them. And everybody has a different pattern that they follow. And again, it's not a right or wrong way. It's just whatever's comfortable for you. And you just want to set it down. You don't want to press too hard. You just want to kind of set it on there. So I'm not quite sure what happened. I was in the middle of blinging out and my camera cut off. So probably going to have to re-add some glue now. But as you can see, I'm just kind of following this pattern. Again, I'm going to apply a little bit more glue, twist, make sure there's not a string, and I'm just going to go back in and re-put some glue on there. I didn't even realize my camera had cut off. So I'm going to add a little bit more too on that side. And if you're working on a toddler shoe, it goes really, really fast because the shoe is the toe is so small anyway. So this is a really, really quick project. Okay, I'm just going to pick up now where I left off. So in my shop, I sell two different kinds of rhinestones. I sell a resin rhinestone, and I also sell a glass flat back non-hot fix rhinestone. The resin, you get more for the price, and the glass is a little bit more like Swarovski, or however it is that you say that. But it costs a little bit more. It costs more than the resin, but less than the actual Swarovski. So it just depends on what you're working on, what you're hoping to achieve and accomplish. A lot of people just prefer the resin because it's affordable. But those are options that are available in my shop. And I saw all the different colors. Again, this color is clear. And this little tool right here, there's a lot of different tools on the market to help you pick up the rhinestones. But this one, I feel for the price, this one is the best because it's only $1.99 plus shipping. And as you can see, I mean, it's amazing. I saw a few different ones. There's a white tip wax pencil. It's under $1, but it's not my favorite. I'm just going to be honest. I prefer the yellow wax one over it. Then there's a pick me up tool. And then there's a few other ones that I also carry too. But like I said, I feel like for the price, this one's the best. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's like early in the morning here and it is pouring outside. Okay, so I can kind of start telling when my glue is just starting to dry because the rhinestone isn't moving around as good. So whenever it starts to do that, you'll want to apply a little bit more glue. that's kind of what I use to figure out if I need a little bit more glue. If I can't slide that rhinestone around, then it's starting to get pretty tacky, and I want to be able to work with the stone if I need to move it around. So I'm just going to add a little bit more so I can finish out this line. And again, I'm twisting. I don't want a glue string. I'm just going to keep working. And I forget exactly how many different colors that I have of the resin rhinestones, but there's a lot. There's a lot of different colors, and I'm going to leave a link that has all the different sizes. There's a 2mm, 3mm, 4mm, 5mm, and a 6mm available in the resin rhinestones. And the colors range from light pink, dark rose, fuchsia, light purple, violet. There's a light blue, sapphire, green, emerald green, all different kinds of colors. I'm getting kind of in this, I'm going to put a 3mm there because there's a smaller space. So, okay, now ready for the next line. I'm going to add some more glue. Again, I'm going to squeeze it out, and then I'm going to twist it so I don't have a string. So I can kind of tell that's a lot of glue. I'm going to switch out my toothpick. I'm going to get a new one. I'm just going to kind of spread it out. Put a little bit too much glue, so again, I'm going to get another toothpick. And that just helps me to spread it out and feel like I have a little bit of control over where all this glue is going, because I don't want too much. And I'm just continuing to follow my line. Now when you're, after you've completed your shoe, you want to give it a good 24 hours to just completely dry. So you're just going to want to set it somewhere where it can just dry. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that the E6000 is really strong. It stinks, to be quite honest. It's just a very strong smell. So you're going to want to work in a well-ventilated area, and it's not really something you want to smell and inhale for a long period of time. So just make sure that you are around like a window or something that you can open. A lot of people wear masks too whenever they're doing this. I don't, but a lot of people do, and if you have one though, it's a good idea so you're not breathing all this stuff in. So I will be doing some more videos so you can see the difference, the different kind of rhinestones. But like I said today, I just chose to work with a resin rhinestone because I wanted you to see what's available that's really affordable to fit your budget. So right there I'm going in with a 3mm because a 4mm would have been too big. So you just kind of have to, that's why it's always good when you're doing a project. You want to get a few different sizes because you don't want the gaps. You want to have a stone that fits in there so that you can fill that gap. And be sure if you visit my Etsy store that you look in the shop announcements because I always have coupon codes that are available too. So sometimes it will kind of slow down a little bit once you're kind of nearing the end. Just trying to bring it all together. Make everything fit in there. I don't do custom items. I don't bling them out. I mainly just I just sell the item so that you can do it yourself. But if you're not familiar with Etsy though, there are a lot of people that do custom items. So if you don't want to do it yourself, you can go on there and find someone who can custom do an item for you. Like I said, you can always, because your glue hasn't dried, so you're able to move your stones around. And voila, there you go. We did that in about 10 minutes. So one shoe. So be sure to check out my Etsy shop. Like I said, I'll leave all the links. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, you can follow me at Blingee Thingee on Instagram also. I'm going to be doing some more giveaways on Instagram, so be sure to follow me on there. And then I'm also going to be doing some giveaways for my subscribers on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.